In the world of Naruto, there exists a distinct division between those gifted with Doujutsu and those without. The gap between these two groups is immense. Possessing a Doujutsu places individuals in the highest echelons of power, endowing them with world-shaping, reality-bending abilities that rival those of any other on the planet. Simply put, you wield a Doujutsu, you are destined to be an immensely formidable shinobi with few rivals. Today, our focus is on the most dominant of these Doujutsu, those that reign supreme. In this discussion, I will thoroughly analyze each Doujutsu's abilities, uniqueness, and distinctive characteristics. I aim to assess them objectively without allowing considerations of the user or plot devices to sway our evaluation of their power. Additionally, I will delve into the history and mechanics behind unlocking each Doujutsu, providing context that enriches our understanding of their origins and potential. So let's begin. While the Byakugan may hold the lowest position on our list, it undoubtedly deserves recognition and praise. Originating from the esteemed Otsutsuki clan, this Doujutsu was inherited by their descendants, most notably the Hyuga. What sets the Byakugan apart is its innate presence from birth, unlike some of the other entries on our list. This means the Hyuga can train their Doujutsu from infancy, honing their skills throughout their entire lives. This often overlooked aspect of the Byakugan contributes significantly to the Hyuga's prowess, enabling individuals like Neji to become formidable powerhouses from a very young age. The ability to develop and refine their Byakugan-based abilities over a lifetime allows the Hyuga to scale exceptionally well in terms of skill and strength. However, the harsh realities of the shinobi world would mean that not all of them survive to realize their full potential. Out of all the Doujutsu on this list, it offers the widest array of perceptive abilities, which is part of the reason that it's so good. The Byakugan endows the user with remarkable 360-degree field of view, with only a minuscule blind spot located behind their first thoracic vertebrae, hardly significant in most combat scenarios. Its perceptive capabilities allow a range of vision up to 20 kilometers, with incredible precision and clarity. It also offers them the capacity to see even the most minute details from this range. Let's take a moment to grasp at the magnitude of this capability. Take a look at this map, with a 20-kilometer radius from the center of Tokyo. Within that expansive area, the Byakugan user can discern every minute detail simply by focusing their vision. It's an astounding feat, one that warrants further exploration within the series, yet sadly remains underutilized. However, the most iconic aspect of the Byakugan lies in its unparalleled ability to perceive and manipulate the Tenketsu. These are minute pressure points scattered across the chakra system, each no larger than the size of the tip of a needle. It is through this unique capability that the Byakugan truly shines. The Hyuga's mastery of the Byakugan extends beyond mere observation of the Tenketsu, however. It empowers them to target and manipulate these chakra pressure points with surgical precision. This unique ability forms the cornerstone of the Gentle Fist style, allowing the Hyuga to strike and target these Tenketsu, forcefully either opening or closing them. Such strikes induce severe structural damage to the surrounding organs of their target, rendering them incapacitated over time. In some cases, victims may become entirely unable to mold chakra if sufficient damage is inflicted, provided they survive the internal hemorrhaging. Moreover, the Byakugan enables users to expel chakra from the Tenketsu, unleashing devastating jutsu like the 8 trigrams revolving heaven, a formidable defense technique. Additionally, techniques like the gentle step twin lion fists take their taijutsu to new heights, allowing the Hyuga to drain their chakra of their opponents with each strike, akin to surgically precise Preta paths. It's an extraordinary ability that showcases the Byakugan's versatility and power, despite its placement on the list, just due to the sheer power of the other Doujutsu. Next up, we're going to talk about the Ketsuryugan, which has to be one of the coolest translations damn near anything in the entire show. Blood Dragon Eye. It originates from the Chinoike clan and is so well revered that it has earned a place next to the 3 great Doujutsu when discussed among shinobi. That feat alone is ridiculous considering what the other 2 are, besides the Byakugan. Not only does this Doujutsu give the user the ability to cast Genjutsu by eye contact, much like the Sharingan, but also through physical touch. This is incredible due to how strong Genjutsu is as a concept, but I'll discuss the true power of Genjutsu a little later in this video. These features are just the tip of the iceberg regarding what this is capable of. The second and much more potent ability is the power to control substances with a large quantity of iron. Not necessarily magnet release, but effectively that. But what makes this really great is the ability to control iron within the blood. Yeah, it's bloodbending. They can either control their own blood to release devastating attacks strong enough to restrict Sasuke using a Susanoo, or control the blood of others by injecting some of their chakra into them. The result is gruesome, but effectively this poison will cause the infected person's blood to explode. Appropriately, the name of this jutsu is the exploding human technique, and while it may not be creative, it really gets the message across. That's all I really have to say about this ridiculous dojutsu, and once again, as powerful as it is, I couldn't in good conscience place it above the next three. Okay, before we go on, I want to say that the top 3 ranks are incredibly close, and are only separated by some very specific factors that you'll definitely want to stick around for. So, without any further interruption, let's delve into the most iconic dojutsu in all of Naruto. Oh boy, am I gonna get a lot of heat for placing this one here. But give me a moment to explain before going in the comments and tearing me open. The Sharingan finds its origins technically rooted in Kaguya's Rinne Sharingan, but it was Indra who initially summoned forth this remarkable ocular prowess. As the second of the 3 great dojutsu, its abilities are both extensive and awe-inspiring, necessitating a breakdown that first addresses the tomed Sharingan before delving into the Mangekyo. Unlocking the Sharingan occurs through an emotional event, not strictly tied to trauma or negativity, as evidenced later in the series when Sasuke's daughter awakens hers through a positive event of meeting her deadbeat father. As the user progresses and gains more experience with their dojutsu, it evolves to eventually manifest the 3-Tomoe. Effectively, it's the base form as commonly recognized in the series. At its base level, the Sharingan grants users the ability to perceive chakra at a microscopic level, as demonstrated by Sasuke during his confrontation with Deidara. However, its most significant advantage lies in its precognitive abilities. Users can discern even the subtlest muscle twitches, allowing them to anticipate their opponent's next move with remarkable accuracy. This formidable advantage makes facing any Sharingan user a daunting task, given the insight they possess into their opponent's actions. Yet there are still deeper layers to explore. At the 3-Tomoe level, we also unlock one of the most iconic abilities in early Naruto, Genjutsu Dominance. Genjutsu by itself is a concept that is effectively a kill move against anyone who isn't a Master Jinchuriki or another Sharingan user. And considering the status of the Uchiha clan, the counters are few and far between. Itachi is the poster boy for Genjutsu and the series master in the style. He can point at people and cast incredibly powerful Genjutsu onto them. This isn't fair. This is the first ability that is nonsense because you can't counter Genjutsu. There's no amount of physical durability that you can stack to keep you from being subject to powerful Genjutsu. Itachi and other Sharingan users can also see through all Genjutsu and reflect it back onto the caster, effectively making using Genjutsu against someone with a Sharingan an easy way to find yourself in the pure world. And this is just the base form of the Sharingan. So now we have to talk about the Mangekyo, which is unlocked by the user experiencing great emotional trauma. And I can't even begin to narrow down how ridiculous this Kekkei Genkai is. Upon unlocking the Mangekyo, a user gains a unique ability that is specific to their pair of Sharingan. This ability ultimately determines the potency of the user's Mangekyo. Each eye can potentially possess its own distinct ability, resulting in the potential for 2 unique abilities, or a single ability in both eyes that complements one another. However, there exists a significant discrepancy between the top-tier abilities and those of lesser potency, introducing an element of unpredictability to the Sharingan's capabilities that is not present in the other 2 top spots on the list. Undoubtedly, techniques like Kumoi and Kodomatsu Kami are incredibly powerful, but the chances of acquiring such formidable techniques are slim. Users may find themselves with abilities of lesser utilities such as Shin's pseudo-magnet release, which pales in comparison to the top-tier techniques. Lastly, when a user unlocks Mangekyo in both eyes, which is something only really notable to people like Kakashi or Obito who share a single pair of Mangekyo, they unlock the Susanoo, which is said to be the ultimate defense, but more frequently we see it used as a gigantic Gundam-esque chakra avatar that can cut mountains in half. What they must have meant is the best defense is a stupidly ridiculous offense, because that's all Susanoo is. Don't mistake this placement as my opinion on whether or not the Sharingan or Mangekyo are strong. They are. It's an amazing dojutsu, but the next 2 are just more consistently great, offering a unique range of game-changing abilities that every user can manifest. Okay, we got through it. So now we enter the top 2. And for our next placement, we have the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan is the last of the Great 3 dojutsu, which was initially wielded on Earth by Hagoromo, the Sage of Six Paths. Unlike other dojutsu, unlocking the Rinnegan requires individuals to possess first a Sharingan and then obtain Hagoromo's chakra in some manner. This can be achieved through various means, such as combining the chakra of his sons, Indra and Asura, through ancestry, or by transplanting the cells of someone who descended from them, or directly receiving it from Hagoromo himself. which should be really difficult to do since he's been dead for what is probably centuries, but somehow, some way, we needed Sasuke to continue being relevant. It should be noted that the power, like with all Doujutsu, is much more potent when wielded by the original owner of the eyes, so implants are severely weakened. Consider this when we discuss Nagato and his complete dismantling of Konoha single-handedly. The Rinnegan earns its place here as the number 2 spot due to how vast the abilities span and how ludicrous some of them are. Every Rinnegan user has the same 6 powers, which are aggregated into what is known as the 6 paths technique, which they can either use through their own bodies or impart the powers into modified corpses and split the powers among them. They also have some unique powers that we'll touch on as well later. Starting with the most well-known, the Deva Path, which is seen to control repulsive and attractive forces in the Bansho Tenin and Shinra Tensei, but also with the Chibaku Tensei, one of the most destructive jutsu in the entire series, creating an incredibly powerful attractive force that draws an opponent into a giant mass and immobilizes or crushes them under the extreme force of gravity. Then we have the Asura Path, which was one of the first times in the series that my suspension of disbelief was challenged. Due to how technologically primitive the Naruto world appears to be, but somehow through the Rinnegan and even more ancient Doujutsu, the user can manifest missiles and laser beams. The human path is absolutely nuts, offering the ability through touch to forcefully remove the soul out of someone and extract information from them. This is one of the few jutsu that interacts with souls, some of the notable others being the dead demon consuming seal and the spirit transformation technique. The animal path allows the users to summon various animals, irrespective of a contract signed, which breaks the rules of the summoning jutsu. Additionally, the users can modify these summons and impart on them improved abilities, and seemingly some form of immortality, as they've been shown to die in battle previously and then summoned again anyway. The Preta path is beyond good, through which the users can absorb chakra from jutsu in an area around themselves. What makes this so good is the fact that it renders any ninjutsu and its effects ineffective, due to how it spins the chakra in the reverse direction within their bodies, therefore neutralizing the effects of any jutsu. This doesn't extend to senjutsu and is effectively just a plot device to ensure Naruto had any chance against Nagato, and to gas up Sage Mode of course, like it needed it. The Naraka path is the last, and through it the user can summon the King of Hell, which has 2 distinct abilities. The first of which is an insane healing ability bordering on resurrection. By throwing a corpse or an injured ally into the summon's mouth, it can very quickly heal fatal injuries in a matter of moments, making it the perfect white mage. The second ability is just basic information extraction, much like the human path, and I think these two share the abilities because the Naraka path just being a healer makes it difficult to write scenes for to make it seem as intimidating as the rest. And oh yeah, remember in Naruto when people could only learn 1 or 2 chakra natures and the incredibly skilled people were only learning 3 to 4 max? Well, all users of the Rinnegan can learn and master each of the 5 elements with incredible ease. Yep. Why? No clue. Hagoromo hacks probably. This begs the question of why Sasuke hasn't learned the lightning chakra mode. He fought it firsthand and saw how it made Ace so strong that he put the whole Team Taka in a body bag. I don't know. I'll just keep living in my headcanon where characters who say they want to be strong actually make an effort to achieve that. So yeah, these are the abilities of the Rinnegan. That's all of them, right? Nope. That huge list of hyper-potent abilities were just the baseline techniques afforded to every single Rinnegan user. Much like the Sharingan, they can also manifest unique abilities. Madara can manifest invisible clones that are invulnerable to physical damage. These limbo clones are powerful enough to strike a tailed beast with enough force to knock it several hundred feet away. That's not a feat to discount. He also has an analog to the substitution jutsu, by replacing himself with these clones to avoid an attack. And Sasuke, who was fast as hell already, can now teleport around by switching places with objects of roughly equal size. This is basically just the boogie woogie technique from JJK if you're more familiar with that anime. The Rinnegan is supremely powerful, and if it weren't for how, and specifically when, the next entry came about, it would top every list discussing both Doujutsu and Kekkei Genkai in general. Okay, Tenseigan. I'll say it right away. This Doujutsu is correct, and the only bad thing about it is that we're unlikely to see it again in the series, but I really hope that I'm wrong about that. It's the evolution of the Byakugan, obtained when an Otsutsuki implants a Byakugan of a Hyuga into their own eye sockets, which is just as convoluted as it sounds. The user is afforded several abilities that scale them into Sage of Six Paths territory immediately, including a chakra cloak that gives them access to Truthseeker orbs, and is on par with Naruto's Senjutsu enhanced Nine-Tailed Chakra mode in terms of physical attributes, which is so stupidly powerful you just sort of have to love it. They can also conjure laser beams that can cut the entire moon in half with a single swipe of their arms, And remember how broken the Deva path of the Rinnegan was? Well, it also gets those attractive and repulsive abilities too. Because why not? Which really had to be the mission statement when making this movie. Why not? There's nothing really to explain about this Doujutsu. It's not complicated, and their powers just blow up stuff on a planetary scale and make the user a surrogate 10-tails Jinchuriki in power scaling, which I guess was the only way to give Naruto a challenge at this point in the series, but it doesn't excuse how damn broken this Doujutsu is, which is why it takes the #1 spot on this list and pretty much any other. I will say, this Doujutsu, like the Byakugan, gives no protection against Genjutsu. So if you ever find yourself isekai'd into Naruto and are staring down a Tenseigan user, if you don't get immediately speed blitzed, just cast a Genjutsu on them and it's an easy no diff. Alright, that wraps up the list. If you're watching at this point, I appreciate you the most. Don't tell the others though. If you have any suggestions for content you want to see regarding the Naruto universe, let me know in the comments and I'll add it to the huge list that is taking up like a gigabyte of storage on my computer. No, seriously, this is taking over my life. Like the video and subscribe for more content. Peace.